We open on Coruscant and see a group of Jedi younglings training with a master. We see the events of Order 66 as some pretty incompetent clone troopers eventually kill the teacher, but in such a way that both her and the troopers end up deceased. The younglings then waddle away through the chaos of the attack on the temple. We then cut to Tatooine 10 years later. An ominous shadow flies over the town, cast by a ship that proceeds to land, and three figures approach. These are the Inquisitors. Let's discuss these three. Two of them we have seen before in the hit TV show Star Wars Rebels. They are the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother. Really good, memorable names right there. Here we see what they look like now. They look like just people in face paint, and that's it. They literally did a better job at creating this species in Revenge of the Sith. Furthermore, in the new Jedi Survivor trailer, the Grand Inquisitor looks like this, and this looks so much better, and this isn't even live action. So, good job, show. Yeah. And then we have a brand new human Inquisitor. I wonder what will come of her character.
But look on his back, he's got the, like in the Nintendo Wii wheel.
He's playing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
The Grand Inquisitor wanders into a local bar and starts rambling on about how the Jedi love saving people, and this absolute fool of a Jedi reveals himself by using the Force in the most obvious way he could conceive of. He gets away by dropping a cloth in front of the villains.
What the fuck? Have they been stopped by...
But they got stopped by a tarp. The Jedi are reckless, they will drop a towel on you. We also discover that the new Inquisitor, Reva, is simping very hard for Kenobi and will stop at absolutely nothing to find him. We now see a day in the life of Kenobi, who is working, getting the train back to town, finding his alien camel, heading home, and being scammed by a Jawa who sells him his own possessions. Imagine if someone came up to you and stole your phone, and then turned back around, looked at you and said, "Hey, you need a phone," and you're like, "Yeah, I need a phone," and then they're like, "Oh, well, lucky it's your lucky day, here's one for $1,000. You wouldn't buy... Kenobi watches Luke for a bit, but then is approached by the stray Jedi from earlier. How this man has managed to locate Kenobi in this entire planet. Kenobi tells the Jedi to go away. He then secretly leaves Luke a toy, but Uncle Owen does not approve and throws it back at Kenobi the next day. Then the Inquisitors show up. They gather the people, and Reva begins to go a bit over the top with threats, singles out Uncle Owen, who is saved by the plot as the Fifth Brother takes Reva away for telling off in an alleyway. But I bet you were wondering, what was happening on Alderaan? Throughout all this, of course you were. Introducing young Princess Leia. We learn that she likes ships, has a new piece of merch named Lola, and is a rebellious child. Get it? She has to meet her cousins, and randomly just absolutely destroys one of them by telling them they're a daddy's boy. She is told to apologise, but instead runs into the woods. But trouble breaks out. She encounters 3 evil kidnappers. I hope that's enough because I'm not doing that again. Leia's parents decide that instead of calling the police or using their own palace guard or even trying to look themselves, that Kenobi is their only hope. So they phone him, but he refuses, as obviously his job was to look over Luke, whilst Bail's job was to protect Leia. However, then he sees that the Jedi he told to go away has been hanged, Then, suddenly Bail Organa is in his house. He is insistent that only Obi-Wan can help Leia. Kenobi travels to the middle of the desert where he had buried his lightsabers. Thank God he remembered the location, given that there are literally no landmarks around here, and okay. He then changes his clothes into a much more discreet outfit, and proceeds to set off to save Princess Leia. So that was episode 1. A lot happened, but it's very suspect. The most interesting parts were just watching a day in the life of Kenobi, and the production quality of the show is certainly impressive, but this Leia subplot is concerning for the direction in which the show is headed, and Bail's strategy to save his daughter is beyond contrived.
My father will rescue me. He'll send a whole army.
No, he won't, darling. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. It's time for episode 2. Kenobi's airliner lands on the planet Daiyu. Kenobi wanders amongst the streets, observing all of the interesting NPCs there. But then, a familiar voice is heard. We see a veteran clone trooper sat on the street begging for money. I recognise that uniform and that voice. Kenobi passes a few credits to the clone alderman, and is then approached by a drug dealer who offers Kenobi some drug. Kenobi refuses, so the drug dealer gives him a free sample. What a nice drug dealer. This won't matter later. Then another random civilian approaches Kenobi and says that he knows a Jedi that can help him. Curious, Kenobi follows, and witnesses what appears to be a Jedi helping out some civilians. This Jedi is not being particularly discreet regarding his powers, bringing up the question how this man has survived for 10 years. But it turns out he is just a con man. He uses magnets to pretend to use the Force. Okay. Kenobi threatens this man at gunpoint and asks where Leia may be. Luckily, the con man has an idea. He suggests that she may be in the local drug factory. The local drug factory. With this new piece of intel, our hero starts a drug factory. Obi-Wan just starts a drug factory. That would be a better show. With this new piece of intel, our hero steals a drug factory uniform from a random alien and infiltrates the facility. Kenobi wanders around, hand-to-hand combats some drug factory employees, and then finds Leia. Oh no, it was a decoy. Kenobi is jumped by the 3 kidnappers. So how does he resolve this? He smashes the vial of free drugs he was given, making the kidnappers all high on spice, and he gets away. After locating Leia, he convinces her that he is a nice man, and escorts her out of the facility without anyone noticing. Meanwhile, Reva stumbles upon the stoned kidnappers and does an angry face. It turns out that she hired them to take Leia in the hopes that Bail would not use his palace guard or the police and instead call upon Kenobi, of all people, to go and find Leia and then she would get him. Luckily for her, this plan actually almost worked. Kenobi insists him and Leia must change out of their concealing disguises back into their normal clothes, because as we all know, looking like a Jedi is much less suspicious than wearing a tarp, and Leia is literally just a child, so who's going to be suspicious of her anyway? But he must have a reason, so he takes Leia to Space Primark to buy her some clothes while she does not keep her mouth shut, and keeps drawing attention of random aliens. It is incredible how snarky and confident she is, given that she'd literally just been kidnapped. You'd think that this may be a very traumatizing event for a child, but Leia is pushing through it. Anyway, the Inquisitors are all mean to Reva, so she sends out a bounty for Kenobi to all the bounty hunters. This includes a crocodile man, who I kind of love. Oh, the crocodile man's seen it. Oh no, he's off. Yeah, oh my god, I like him. He was just ready to go at an instant. Leia sees the bounty, assumes Obi-Wan is evil, and runs away. Kenobi attempts to chase her, but as we have established, Leia is the fastest person alive. Kenobi ends up on a rooftop, and the crocodile man starts shooting at the two, but Kenobi prevails. Oh no! Oh my god, it's him! He's here! Yes! Crocodile man, come on, you can do this. No! No! But then, Leia falls off the building. You fool. Kenobi is then forced to use the Force to save her. I'm not retaking that. Our heroes are then saved by our favourite con man. He gives them a MacGuffin to get off-world, and tells them he will buy them time. Oh, also, Leia now trusts Kenobi again because he used the Force. Reva finds the conman and Force downloads our hero's location from his mind. We also get to see the Grand Inquisitor handle his wheel to get the same information out of one of the kidnappers. Kenobi and Leia reach the docking bay, where Kenobi tells Leia to get onto the ship whilst he waits here, just so he can have a character moment. Reva shows up, and Kenobi prepares his lightsaber. She announces that Darth Vader is alive. Here we get to see a genuinely good acting moment from Ewan McGregor. You can see the genuine emotional torment in his eyes to the news that his former Padawan lives. On its own, it's a really good scene. But do not fear, this will not last long. The Grand Inquisitor shows up to insult Reva one more time. She is fed up, so does a pro-gamer move and stabs him in the chest.
There are some things far more frightening than death.
She was so mad at him that she genuinely just broke canon. Kenobi uses this opportunity to get on the ship. We get another close-up of Kenobi's face as he processes the revelation that is Anakin's survival. We cut to a close-up of Vader's face in a Bacta tank. So this show is now disastrous. The Inquisitors are portrayed as nothing but incompetent, continuously failing to locate Kenobi throughout the episode. It is overwhelmingly convenient that Kenobi could locate Leia on this entire planet, and it's also very convenient that he had a bottle of drugs he was given for free 5 minutes before it would save his life. Oh, and how convenient that Leia chose not to believe Kenobi right before they potentially could have gotten to safety. It's a good thing that Reva just let Kenobi go at the end. Why can no one catch Leia? Well, you know what they say. Third time's the charm. Okay, so, might as well start.
Oh.
Oh, let's go.
Oh dear.
Oh, I also have a beer. I am drinking through this. Darth Vader is being reconstructed in his Bacta tank. It looks cool, so everyone clap. We see Vader's castle, in which he asks Reva where Kenobi is. Vader tells Reva that if she proves herself, the position of Grand Inquisitor shall be hers. She is ensured that if she fails him, she will die. Yeah, she's dead. By you. 100%, I put money on that. Meanwhile, Kenobi and Leia are discussing the Force. He hands Leia Lola. He hands Leia Lola, who is fixed now. He hands Leia her droid Lola, who is fixed now. He hands Leia Leia gets Lola back and Lola's fixed. The ship then lands and our heroes set out on this new planet. Kenobi announces that they are almost at the rendezvous point that was given to them by the conman, but he's showing hesitation. Leia asks why the conman would lie, which triggers Kenobi.
People are not all good, Leia.
Kenobi then starts talking about how the Empire ravaged this planet. Even though I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty chill, like a pretty chill mining planet. I see no remnants of anything though.
It's not gonna be like Coruscant, is it? But just
Oh
really
God,
far away from all of.
Yeah.
Like as if they had the whole city complex, and a bunch of fields out. And
Yeah.
nowhere.
Kenobi then had a quirky PTSD moment and sees Anakin as a Jedi just chilling in a field. We then cut to the Inquisitor's palace, which is underwater. What is this?
Some Sith lighthouse-looking thing.
Lighthouse. Are they underwater?
You know, like when you build your secret base in Minecraft, like the glass, and it blocks all the water.
Reva and the fifth brother are clearly competing to be in charge, but he wins by making her T-pose. You can't make this up.
Hang on, did she get promoted by killing her boss?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like a good chain of command. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing to ensure loyalty with that.
They conclude by sending out all 3 of their probes to search the galaxy for Kenobi. Space is small. Kenobi and Leia wait at the rendezvous point for all of 5 minutes before concluding they were lied to. Conveniently, a transport shows up and Leia hitchhikes it. Leia introduces herself to the epic moment.
Oh, look at the driver. It's like some mole looking Chuck E. Cheese Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
Oh my god.
Hey there, I'm Freck.
Leia introduces herself as Lula, and Kenobi as her dad. The epic moment offers them a ride, but Kenobi is skeptical, as he is technically an Imperial. Let us not forget that the Empire is just like the equivalent of the government in the galaxy, so this would be like turning down a London cab because they're not actively rebelling against the government. Oh no! Some stormtroopers need a lift. Kenobi acts very sus, and accidentally I can't set up a straight face. And accidentally calls Leia Leia. Let's not forget that the Empire are looking for a Jedi accompanying a child named Leia.
Imagine today they're like, oh, King Arthur's about in London. You saw a guy wearing a crown
Yeah.
and like a full set of chainmail. Just on the underground.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit weird.
But they all buy his recovery, and we move on with Kenobi even more damaged as a character. Leia asks Kenobi if he's her real dad.
Are you my real father?
I wish I could say I was.
I boned
Your dad
Padme.
is a space Hitler, though.
Yeah.
So, how are we feeling about that one?
Our heroes reach a laser gate. The epic moment vibes with the stormtroopers, who then go to check our dynamic duo. Oh no! One of the Inquisitor probes shows up. However, Kenobi is smart, and whips out a gun and just mows down all the troopers at this gate. One even falls onto the gate and gets absolutely mauled. They disable the gate, and the show decides to give us this wonderful wide shot where it is so comically clear that they could have just walked around this gate. It's the most useless gate in the... It doesn't matter. Oh no! More troops! Despite having just mowed down like 10, Kenobi surrenders to the 3 new troops that have shown up. Turns out the Imperial officer is the contact. She is nice to our heroes and takes them to a village where they can hide. She mentions how many Jedi have passed through here, and they have all signed their names on the wall. This is a very smart thing to do as a Jedi, because your actual existence is illegal, so you should make sure that the Empire have living proof that you survived. Anyway, after name-dropping a reference, Kenobi sees that the Inquisitors and Vader have shown up. Turns out that disabling the gate sent a notification to all of their phones, so they instantly showed up just in case it was Kenobi. Vader snaps some necks and drags some bodies in an attempt to draw out Kenobi. So Leia and the officer head to safety, whilst Kenobi runs away. In the next scene, Kenobi stumbles upon Vader. A red lightsaber ignites. This is what the show has been building to. This was all in the marketing. The rematch of the century. Obi-Wan runs away. He just runs away. Obi-Wan runs away. I feel like Darth Vader should sweep the floor with Obi-Wan.
What was that?
Oh, no, he's back.
What's that?
What's he doing?
You cannot run.
Wait.
In an attempt to hide, Kenobi takes out his massive glow stick, and there Vader is. They whack lightsabers a couple times, every hit just taking a chunk out of Kenobi's character and turning it into character humiliation. This is such a pathetic fight. Vader decides he wants to be like a cat and toy with Kenobi, so he covers the floor in oil, lights it, and starts to burn Kenobi, because remember, that's what Kenobi... But it is okay, as the officer lady shoots some stormtroopers, and then Vader is distracted, and then a big droid comes and picks Kenobi up, who, by the way, only has like minor burns on his arm, and then they start to walk away at about 1 mile per hour. Vader just watches them. Darth Vader, filled with hate and revenge, he just watches them walk away. Oh, and meanwhile, Reva finds Leia alone in a tunnel. Roll credits. I don't think you could humiliate Kenobi more if you tried. And as soon as he sees Vader, he just runs away. Whilst, yes, obviously this is technically an option, But not only is his run a pathetic little waddle, but the build-up to this show was literally the rematch of the century, and we get to see Obi-Wan going, "Oh no," and runs away. So that was episode 3. As of writing this script, episode 4 is yet to be out. I might make a video on the latter half of the show when it is all released, but I don't want to. It's okay though, because all of that's irrelevant. The show is really good writing because I recognise this thing and this thing and oh that thing and this thing and oh and that character. That was a big one. I recognise it. To end, here is a montage of our appreciation for the Crocodile Man and the epic Moleman. Oh, the Crocodile Man's seen it. Oh no, he's off. Yeah. Oh my god, I like him. He was just ready to go at an instant. Oh no! Oh my god, it's him! He's here! Yes! Crocodile Man, come on, you can do this. No! No!
Where's our favourite? The dinosaur
Crocodile
guy?
Man.
That's my multiverse of madness, him showing up. Oh, look at the driver, it's like some mole looking Chuck E. Cheese 5 Nights at Freddy's thing.
Oh my god.
Hey there, I'm Frank. A weird story.
More weirdos than
Got a
Star
bit turned
Wars
around.
campaign.
Looking for the nearest
I like
pole.
this guy.
I like the Moleman.
Can we get a spin-off show of the Moleman and the
Moleman
dinosaur
and the
guy?
Croc-Man.
And I'm sure we'll pick up a few other weirdos.
On
My pleasure. Hop in.
Hop in.
What the fuck?
I love him. He's just vibing.
Oh, it's a mining community, isn't it? So they're good, of course
Oh
they
my
got mole
god.
people.
Wait, is that racist?
Or they found a species like natural talent and gone, yeah, we could use this for our capitalist empire. If we get them to dig up
Yeah,
the
but
good rocks.
Look at the planet, it's so barren.
What do you think it's got like tons of underground like caverns and
It's the
cultures
London Underground.
because they're all full of moles?
Yeah.
Good people out tall. They pay their way, listen to the Empire.
absolutely.
How did this
We
mole learn
love
to
you.
speak English?
Nice to meet like-minded folk. Nothing wrong with a little order, right?
He's like, yeah, empire.